What's going on, guys?
At the pitch before Springer, he'd swung through a fastball.
Yep.
Were you trying to throw the same pitch, change the location a little bit, or what happened there?
Yeah, so yesterday I threw a bunch of really good curveballs to him and he chased down with me. Threw the 0-0 curveball to him that he put a decent swing on it. I know he fouled it off, but it looked like he was at least somewhat on time with that pitch. I fell behind 2-1, threw a good fastball 2-1 that he swung and missed with. And just playing off of the at bat yesterday, and how he took that swing, in my mind, I didn't think that he thought I was coming back with another fastball. I thought for sure he was going to sit on a breaking ball, and I was trying to. I mean, it leaked middle. Just plain and simple, the ball leaked middle, and he put a good swing on it. But we were trying to execute a fastball way there to him. I just, like I said, given the at bat yesterday, and kind of how that played out today, I didn't think he would be sitting on another fastball.
So obviously, he made some good pitches.
How much are those at bats with George different, given your history, in terms of trying to just what you just described, anticipating what he's trying to do? He knows you, you know me. How much does that change that dynamic?
I don't know that it changes it a whole lot. He's obviously watched me pitch a ton from center field, but that was 11 years ago now, 12 years ago now, right? I'm kind of going off of what I see him doing in the box, and kind of previous experiences against him in the big leagues. So, it sucks. It's a tough one. Thought we had the right pitch and obviously didn't execute it well, and he hit a homer.
Matt, how good of an at bat did McGuire have to kind of hang in there and draw that walk? You fouled off some tough pitches, it looked like.
Yeah, we had. I'd always had a ton of success with him with curveballs. Got the first one and then started executing some fastballs and even in up at the top of the zone that he just kept fouling off and fouling off and fouling off. And obviously in a situation like that, I'm not trying to walk that guy. The last thing I want to do is turn the lineup over to the top of the order for the exact obvious reason of what happened. But yeah, I mean, he put together an incredible at bat. He kept fouling it off. Didn't look like he was getting to the fastball, but just enough. Maybe he's sitting on a curveball there, given what I've done to him in the past. So yeah. I mean, he put together a quality at bat, and you got to tip your cap to that.
As somebody who's been here for a while now, Matt, what do you think this group? How do you guys regroup from what's happened here over these last couple of weeks?
Yeah, it's definitely been tough. Really nice to see the offense come out today and put together. But they have eight runs and 15 hits. I'll just be frank. In a game in which we score 8 runs, we got to win that ball game. And the one today is 100% on me. I got to make a better pitch, not only to Springer, but obviously I got to get McGuire out there. But we'll take the off day tomorrow. We got a big series against Tampa coming in. We'll come back, we'll regroup, we'll build on what the offense did today. I don't know who's starting on Tuesday, but go out, we'll do our jobs, we'll kind of regroup and we'll start firing off some wins here starting on Tuesday at home against Tampa.
Matt, you sort of mentioned it, but just how big of a series is it coming up for you guys against Tampa?
Yeah, listen, all of us know that it's a big series, right? It's been a rough couple of weeks, particularly kind of since the All-Star break. But we have a good team, man. This is a team that was in first place going into the All-Star break. Stretches like this happen. Obviously, we got to cut it short and try not to let this thing last any longer. But there's still plenty of time, right? There's still plenty of time. I don't know what we are now with 2.5 games back, something like that, 3 games back. But we still have 7 weeks of a season left. The season's not ending in 2 weeks. The season's not ending in 3 weeks. We have 7 weeks left. We have 3 series against Tampa left. I know that we're done with Toronto, but we got to get back to being who we are. We got to get back to doing what we did for the first 3.5 months of the season that put us in first place. Go out there and, like I said, hopefully the offense continues to build off of today. That was awesome to see. take the off day, get everybody rested down in the pen, and come back firing on Tuesday.
Matt, applying those specifically to yourself, how do you reset after a weekend where you have a lot of emotional highs and lows, and just kind of try to get back to the zone for the next series with Tampa?
For me, I have a process in how I've gone about everything this entire year, right? I have a process that I trust wholeheartedly, and I'm just going to continue to trust in that process. I mean, it's worked out, minus the home run yesterday to Simeon, in which I think that was the first pitch fastball hit I've given up to a righty all year long, and the homer that Springer hit today. It's worked pretty damn good for 40 some odd innings. So in trusting that process wholeheartedly, I don't have to ride highs and I don't have to ride lows. When it works, it's what I expect it to do. And when it doesn't, I still trust in that process. And I know that I'm going to go back out there because the proof is in the work, and continue to go out there. Listen, we're all going to give up runs. It's not the last game that I've blown, or the last game that I'll blow. And it's not the first one, right? Like, I trust in it, and I trust that process is going to work out more times than not. Obviously, it didn't work out a couple of times this weekend in a big series in Toronto, which is amplified by a number of things, right? But the collective body of work just allows me to kind of stay where I'm at. I guess the only thing that really is frustrating me right now is I feel like I haven't been able to get glove side with the fastball as well as I did earlier in the year. It feels to me that things are kind of leaking back middle a little bit. So, so we'll work on that. We'll get with the guys with that. But other than that, it's just, if you ride the ups and downs of a season over 162 games, that's so hard to do mentally, physically. So you kind of have to stay completely neutral, good, bad, or indifferent, knowing that there's a very good chance that I get the ball again on Tuesday. And I can't remember a home run that I gave up this weekend, because Tuesday's game we have to win, and today's game is already over with. So I'm not going to sit here and dwell on it. I'll sit here and I'll learn from it, work to get better from it, and we kind of move on from there.
Matt, how has this streak affected the group from a mental perspective, where you mentioned the ups and the downs, where everything was going really well for this team, really for months at a time, and now there's 2 weeks where things haven't gone well? What have you noticed about how the group is responding to what is a difficult stretch from a mental perspective? How do you need to respond?
It's hard for me to speak about what's going on in the dugout, just because I don't spend a lot of time in there, honestly. I can tell you that the bullpen guys are ready to rock. I mean, we're ready to go, ready to take the ball whenever we're called. But it's difficult, right? It's a 162 game season. I mean, things aren't going to go smoothly the entire season. Very, very rarely does that ever happen. If we go out and rattle off 5 or 6 in this homestand or whatever, the script is completely flipped, right? We go and we sweep Tampa. We take 2 out of 3 from Tampa. This script is completely flipped. Good teams go through bad stretches at times. I mean, I think, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think the Dodgers had a bad stretch earlier this year, and they're 2.5 games out, right? It's the nature of the business. It's, you look at a couple of games. We've had games earlier this year in which, flares are dropping in, or today. I mean, I can't tell you the number of hard hit balls that we hit to the warning track that were absolutely crushed, right? I mean, Kike had one, Bogey had one. I mean, you start running down the list of guys who are putting quality at bats together. 5 feet to the left or right, those are doubles, right? So it's, it's about trusting in the work that we've put in for the first 6 months, including spring training, right? It's about trusting in that work and trusting in each other, knowing that everybody's going out there and busting their ass to win a ball game. And as long as we continue to do that, I think that this thing is going to turn around and we're just going to be fine.
All right. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you, Matt.
Thanks.
Thank you.